Hi ho, hey, 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 it's Copy Who in 4K. I am your host, Paul, the producer. Hello everyone, I'm back. After 2 stressful days, actually my days between yesterday and today were better than my weekend. My weekend was atrocious, but then once I got back to this, aka the therapy, the show therapy, I'm feeling a little bit on a more positive side. I still have problems. I don't want my phone to ring, but I expect it might ring as we go through this show today. My goodness, man, holy mackerel. I'm constantly improving things. Before we were starting out here, I literally put on this hat I had, put it sideways, and I was feeling very self-conscious about wearing it because I'm not used to seeing my ears on here, so you could see my big fat ear, and I was like, oh my god, I'm self-conscious about my ears now? I've never been self-conscious about my ears, but I've trained myself into being self-conscious about ears. And so it's just that way. That's me. I'm just tripping all over myself right now talking, and I'm self-conscious about my big fat Dumbo ears now. That gets a ring. Where are we? Oh heavens, me oh my. Yes, I do smell, indeed, the smell of the orange peel. I bring that up every time. I smell my hands and I'm like, I gotta say what's on my mind. The orange peel smell on my hands. The nether regions of ladies is what it smells like. Dirty ladies. Ladies who prostitute themselves. I amuse myself more than others, probably. Rightio. So I did something I hadn't done in a long time last night. Indeed, it had been about 9 months since I went to sing karaoke, and so I went out to do that last night. I have been corresponding over text with a friend of mine who also goes very regularly, and he said he was going, so I was like, okay, I'm going to go. And when he sent me the notice yesterday morning that he was going, I decided to warm my voice up in the morning. I sang a whole bunch of songs for like an hour downstairs. And then in the afternoon, before I went to karaoke, I spent about another half an hour singing, warming up my voice. And I sang 3 songs there, 2 of which I recorded myself on video. I won't be playing those today. My best performance was the 3rd song, I think, which was Rooster by Alice in Chains. And I forgot to record myself doing that, but I felt very confident and good about my performance because I warmed up in the morning and then subsequently again in the afternoon. It went exceptionally well. I went over there and many people kept mentioning this show to me. And I'm like, oh no, the secret's out. I'm a freak. I'm a jackass. And they were very nice about it. One fella, Rick, said, it's like when I go to karaoke, I'm Clark Kent, but when I come on here, I'm like Superman. I'm like, oh, I guess that's a compliment. Both Superman and Clark Kent are honorable people. Clark Kent, of course, is the beta. I guess he's saying I'm a beta when I'm in the bar. I'm a beta in the bar! I sort of am. Because I'm very shy. When I go over there, I'm low key. I don't behave like I behave on here. Everything is dialed up here for the sake of entertainment. I go out of my way to be extra super weird here and now when I'm doing this. It makes me feel good. The point is to be therapeutic. The point is not to get super angry and psychotic, unless it's like a goof and I'm being silly. I got lots of encouragement doing this. The rise was even mentioned, which I was very happy to hear. Someone saw the rise, and I was like, oh, the rise. Thank you, the rise. I'm so proud of the rise. And yeah, I didn't invent it, but I have made it better, and I have seized ownership of it. It's fucking mine. If you don't know what the rise is, stick around and watch the rise. Because the rise is the part of the show where my adrenaline really gets going, and I like that. I do. So I went to sing karaoke last night, and I was so wound up. Usually, when I was going to karaoke, it was starting an hour earlier at 6, and so I would be at home by 8 o'clock, which would give me like a couple hours to unwind on the couch. So last night I came home from karaoke, and I turned the light off to go to bed, just like right after getting home. I got in my pajamas, and I had already brushed my teeth earlier before going to karaoke, so I didn't even have to do that, which is wonderful. That's nice. Always get ready for bed before you go and do things, and don't eat sweets, don't eat shit. And then you just have to get dressed when you come home. So I went to bed, and I was just like, my mind was like, bzzz, and I got a pretty good night's sleep, which was very much welcomed. And then I got up. I remember before I finally fell asleep, I got up one more time to just go to the bathroom one more time because it gives me more time in the night without having to get up to go to the bathroom. And then there was a freaking Miller moth. And the Miller moths, they're not as bad as spiders and snakes and pincher bugs, but these Miller moths are fucking low. They're disgusting. You know why? When you touch those Miller moths, they're all dusty. I was trying to catch this thing in the dark. I saw its silhouette on the freaking window shade from the neighbor's light from outside emanating from his window. So my window's covered up, and then this thing was on the window, and I was trying to grab it in the literal fucking pitch black darkness, and just from seeing. And so I had to turn on the light to kill this thing because I couldn't go to bed. I was like, I can't go to bed until I kill this fucking Miller moth. Death to the Miller moth. All right. I'm going to do one thing really quick, though. Uh-oh. Well, I know that I just discovered one big fuck up. So this is not the rise. This is the descend. The descent. We call this the descent. When you don't do the rise in... you don't put it down before you start the show. It's like, WTF is up with that? I messed up. Oh my goodness. But we're still going to do the rise. I did the descent before the rise. That's a first here. My first time doing a show, because it was like I was 7 minutes in. I was particularly okay with the way I was talking. And it's like, I'm not going to start over just so I can, so now it's down. And I'm sitting here talking about the rise, not realizing that the TV is already risen and it has to go back down. Now it's crucified. It's crucified, and in a few minutes, it will rise from the dead. Oh, man. Okay, let's get into character, shall we? You know what made me realize right now? I was like, okay, I think my mind was going, I think I'm going to get a drink of water. And then I realized, okay, when I mixed the video over there to grab my water, the freaking TV's up. So it totally, it's not like getting a phone call that is really disturbing. Which, that's my least favorite things. Texts are okay, but when my phone rings, especially like if I know someone's calling and I don't want that call right now, I'm like, you interrupted my state of mind, and you should not do that to me. Ooh, 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 ooh. I'm gonna grab one of these sticks over here. One of these mixing sticks. One of these mixing sticks. I'm still in a karaoke mood. Singing music, making up nonsense as I go. It's time for my CB Dizzle. Peasy has it easy when he drinks his CB Dizzle in the water. And he makes the water the very pretty color of you-know-what. Semen. Although I don't think there's any semen in this. And I hope there's no plot in the manufacturing of it, a.k.a. the nanotechnology that's supposedly in here. Water soluble. And I will stir it up for you right there. See these rituals? They all do me. They do a man good. And just one more thing. It's time to really get into character and come put these on over here. And then I'll be like, damn, now I feel wicked ass cool. I need new headphones. I still haven't gotten around to finding a better pair, and money is it's always like I'm always reluctant to spend money. I don't always want to spend the money, but another part of I was just a little bit constipated yesterday. It's true, I was constipated, and I'm not going to make a habit of it to have scatological discussions on here, but I must tell you that once the constipation goes and I feel like I emptied out, I made a couple trips to the bathroom, and the manner in which I refer to that is pretty mild compared to how nasty I could get in describing that trip to the bathroom. But, oh, I tell you, I just feel such utter relief after doing that. I feel as light as a feather, like, ooh, I can move now. Ah, this is so light and wonderful. I think the kava bar activity, it definitely makes me more dehydrated. Ergo, I'm more constipated, so I have to compensate with more water. And it's actually helpful whenever I'm doing a show here and I'm drinking water. And I am thirsty right now. I hear some person mowing their lawn outside, but I presume that it is not audible to the recording, which is perfectly fine. But I do feel light as a feather after relieving myself twice, very heavy volumes. It just feels like I'm cleansed. Ah, yes, I crucified the poo, and it will not be rising from the dead. The TV, I crucified and put it down. But it will rise. You have to have faith that it will rise, and we have to kill just a few minutes so that the motor that rises the TV doesn't overheat. And I guess the motor in this sense is God would be the metaphor, I mean. The metaphor for the motor is God. And if you overheat God, he might be too pissed to make the television rise. And so that's what it is. That's what it's all about. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about now. I don't know if I want to tell you this story. I've been going over this in my head several times. I know one thing I wanted to say is Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg. Yeah, I said it. I meant it. I'm tired of some of these elite people. I'm fed up because this has happened with Instagram before. Somehow I managed to train my algorithm not to show me very inappropriate, highly sexualized dancing routines from little girls barely dressed in anything. Little girls defined as underage, between like anywhere in their teens. It's totally inappropriate. So on Facebook, with the Reels on Facebook, they're doing the same thing. And even though I say hide this, show me less of this, they just keep showing me these nasty, sexy. So next, sexy young girls. And it's like, dude, I'm already corrupt enough, Mark. I don't want to be corrupted anymore. You should respect that I don't want to see that. You're all like censoring people for when they feel offended. They can go report someone and there's Facebook jail and all that shit. But you want to just allow for me to be bombarded with images of young underage women being overtly sexual with their dance moves and their attire and stuff. And I don't like that. So I'm trying to block it and retrain the algorithm, but it's not working on Facebook the way that I want it to work. So I don't like that. And F you, Mark Zuckerberg. I mean, like, why? Why do you do that? How do you claim to have any values at all if you're not letting me not look at that when I'm trying not to look at that? And not that I'm not a corrupted person, but I'm trying not to become more corrupted in so many ways. You're not helping. You want to just fucking program everyone with negativity and misery. You're part of the dystopian blueprint this country has for the future of America. Man, damn you, Mark Zuckerberg. Don't like that. I really don't. Even though I'm being silly in my delivery telling you that, I really don't like that. I have to over-exaggerate that. You know, if Pearl, the thing is, when Pearl drinks, she will drink so loudly, like slurping and gargling and glopping and sounding like shit, like that it's really annoying. And so, like, I have to pick on her for it because it's like, it's obnoxious. And I get my mustache all wet and gnarly. That one hit right on the camera, and I hope the timing was perfect. We'll have to see when we play back later. So, Pearl, stop eating food. You still do that, right? You eat, like, crunchy shit and drink water. You sound like a slob when you do that. And you're otherwise very nice with a lot of things. So stop making yourself look like a slob, Pearl! I'm talking about Pearly Things. Just Pearly Things? Is that what she's called? I don't know her last name. She's likable. I have a story I'll save for some other time, I think, because I'm going to have to get to the real rise. I have to get to the resurrection. I should call it the resurrection instead of the rise. And then really make it a blasphemous affair. Oh, Lord, forgive me. I dreamt last night that Adam Carolla hired me. Me! Can you imagine me? To work with him as a sidekick on his podcast. And in my dream, I didn't like being told what to do by Adam Carolla. And I do like you. I love Adam Carolla, but I don't want to work for you, bro. I would love it. I'd be delighted if you were like, hey, Paul, come be on my show in California. And I would be like, okay, I would actually make a trip to California to do that. I don't know why he would ask me. It would be the equivalent of asking like a citizen panelist to come and make commentary or something. I would do that, though. I would in a heartbeat. Right now, I'm being a sycophant. Is it sycophant or sycophant? Whatever. I'm kissing butt. I'd come there and do that if he asked me to do that. Unlikely to happen, but I would do it nonetheless. He wanted me to sit under a blanket as we were performing, okay? There was a table, and then they took the table away, and they wanted me to sit under a very warm blanket, and I was like, I don't know why I want to do this. And I had another girl with me who was like there doing the same job. We were just there to provide commentary and shtick. And there was a lesbian woman playing the guitar, and it was actually pretty good as far as I remember in my dream. But everyone was angry that she was playing the guitar, and I was like, what is going on here? Like, so dreams are weird, and I had a full head of hair in this dream. Okay, that's some kind of interesting tie to life. It's like every day I'm like, damn it, I'm middle-aged and bald, and I'm not who I want to be because I'm bald, you see? And I'm not going to show you guys. Someday I will when I get the lighting right. And you know what I need is I need the shaver. I saw a guy with a shaver yesterday. I think his podcast is from the Western Slope in Colorado, and his name is Paul Bauer, like Jack Bauer, but with the same name I have, of course. And he has this shaver for his head, and I feel like saying, hey, dude, where did you get your shaver? I think the name of the podcast is Come On Now Podcast. I don't know. I've subscribed to him yesterday, and I might actually have some commentary. I noticed that Rollo and Ryan Stone grace him with a follow. They don't grace me with a follow yet, but pretty soon. I just know eventually I'll keep going. I'll keep going, and they will say my name at some point. You hear me? Or because they heard me say that just now, they're like, we will never say your name. And so I'm going to build the parallel manosphere. I'm going to shine light on people who are just as interesting, if not more interesting and talented than those guys, than to TRTBros, Sartain and Rollo. Whoopsh! Little bit of a backhand, as I say. I love those guys, but TRTBros, come on, prolonging your brand with that. I have more of that clip I'm going to talk about that I stopped on the last show about religion and guys conveniently timing their finding of religion. Let me ask you guys, I appreciate if any of you are watching over here regularly, if you will go over to Rumble. There will be a link underneath the description. And if you will subscribe to that channel over there, I'm trying to build it up there a little bit. And it is going very slowly. It's so slowly that it's dead. Hopefully somehow I can resurrect it. Oh, yes, the resurrection. Oh, I know what I'm going to do today. Oh, yes, I certainly do. And I will try not to blaspheme too badly. I hopefully will be at least within the spectrum, within the realm of good graces with God's sense of humor as I do what I'm going to do here with the rise coming up very shortly. In fact, I think it might be that time. Do you think it might be that time? Yes, momentarily. Well, no. You know what? I was going to say I'm going to floss, but we're going to do this first because I want to have it up in case I want to go to some stuff. So down with Fader. And I'm telling you, I'm saying it out loud on purpose. And yeah, so now I'm looking down there, and it's always distracting when I'm doing that. It's always like a little bit not as convincing. And now we go up with Fader, right? And we come over here and go a beep. A bop, a boop. Rise from the dead. This is me resurrecting the TV from the floor. where I cast it down in crucifixion. I apologize for the blasphemy, for those who find that offensive. I gotta just go with where my mind is going, you know what I'm saying? Yes, sirree, Bob! Boom! Like this, buddy. Like this, buddy. Like this. Like this. Like this. Oh, yeah, we're getting the screenshots right now. This is like, I'm being a screenshot whore. Whee! Yeah! Screenshot whore! Screenshot whore! Right now! That did really, like, elevate my energy level. I'm always grateful for that. Ah, ladies and gentlemen, that was glorious. I mean, could it be any more glorious? I would think that it can be more glorious. And perhaps eventually it will be. I will not complain about that one, though. Except for the fact that I had to crucify the TV before resurrecting it. That's the shtick today. Oh, Lord, forgive me. I hope, do you think any of you out there, it's a serious God, it's a jealous God, will he feel like that's blasphemy? I hope not. But, you know, you created me, Lord. You created me to be that way. And it's just really time to floss for you. And this is part of what God created too. I floss to chase away people who think that it's a not classy thing to do right now. I concur. It's not a classy thing to do. It's about getting rid of people who are too snooty and snotty to enjoy the point of it. Right here, right now. You're lucky I'm not wiping my butt in front of you. No, you're not actually lucky. That would be a step too far for me. I would not wipe my bottom for you. Ow, that's that sensitive spot that I always talk about. And I always say what's on my mind. So when I hit the sensitive spot, I'm always like, that's the sensitive spot. You know it. I'm a little less rock starred out today. I decided to go with the blue hoodie. Still have the glasses. I went with this blue hat. I told you I was going to put on, I put on this beanie, basically. I call it a beanie. But I was going to put on this other hat sideways. If I were more of a man, I'd probably show you what that other hat looks like. But as I was saying, I'm self-conscious about my fucking ears. Huh? I don't want to show you my ears. It's like I've been so covered up here that I feel naked when I go and show you my ears. My ears. My ears, yeah. The more I do this, though, the more I feel as I'm watching back, I want to get rid of this. Even though there's a convenience and an ease to this, I want to get rid of these. And I want to be able to still hear what I'm doing. But let's move on into the aspects into the show right now. I'm at 23 minutes. Okay, I bullshitted for 23 minutes before getting into anything, some kind of... This is just cringe me to MFing death. This is Corey Feldman. Holy mackerel, from the 80s. And it speaks for itself. So let me just play it for you, and then I will comment on it as we go, and I'm disgusted by Corey when I see this. I'm embarrassed by you, Corey. Yeah, but, Corey has a sound guy. He's like, I can't do my show. I don't have a sound guy. I think, no, a lighting guy. He referred to his lighting guy like that once. I'm like, dude, Corey, you know what? You, sir. You don't have to worry about your lighting. It's like everything else you need to work on. But here we go. It speaks for itself. If I get a fucking copyright strike for this, listen to me now. Listen to me now. If I get the copyright notice on this, I'm going to be like, what? This is such garbage. No one should be able to copyright garbage is my point that I want to make. No, we will not we're going to see later on. We're going to see if I got the copyright notice for playing this. If this song is copyrighted, I'm going to be fucking disgusted that it's even allowed to be copyrighted. Okay, you know what's wrong here? So he is co-opting all these fucking Michael Jackson moves, and I'm already annoyed with it naturally. And it's like, dude, be an original or something. I can understand you have a love for Michael Jackson. So did I. Like, talented as hell, but I don't want to go out and do some cheap carbon copy. You're not even half as good as he is. So if you want to do music or something, why? Why would you do this? But I have more things to say about this, so let's continue playing it. Nice look this lady has.
I know it's something strong.
Okay, another thing that's perfectly evident here is that Corey is lip syncing here, everyone. In case that's not obvious, his mic technique isn't even half convincing because he's saying something and the level of the vocal stays the same, and he's moving the mic away, and it's just obvious as hell. Sucking ass.
This you can't disguise. Baby, know that I can't bear.
And he does it with so much confidence that it makes me want to fucking puke. Why, Corey? Like, you don't even try to be original. It's all like a super cheap, untalented Michael Jackson copy. Like, imagine if this were on American Idol. This would never pass the mustard. You would fucking get so ridiculed, which is like what I'm doing to you now. So, but I am disgusted by this, and actually, I didn't follow this earlier. I'm going to follow it now because they have some good 80s shit up there. So this is today's then and now sort of. It's then. This is just a then.
See you look so scared underneath that disguise.
Couldn't be more of a cheap ass Michael Jackson copy. Show me that I'm. I keep going back to that screen. I'm gonna hook up this monitor over here so that I don't always have to be going out, making sure that I'm on the right screen. Hate this.
You're not the same to me.
Oh man, dude. I was feeling more optimistic, and now I'm back to suicide again. You know, you're making me suicidal, Corey. Cringe me to death. Not really, actually, because this is fun to goof on here. So thank you, Corey, in fact, for being so silly in your talent. I'm not saying he hasn't done things I haven't liked, but musically, fucking never. Never! I fucking hate Corey Feldman's music. Excuse me, I'm sorry for being so mean-spirited, but I want to be abundantly clear here. I fucking hate Corey Feldman's music! Ah! Cringe me to death! Cringe me to death, brother. I love you. You know, you're self-absorbed and you have all these flaws as a human being, but I love you. I grew up loving you. I read your autobiography, okay? I wouldn't read your autobiography if I didn't love you, Corey, but dude, you're making me sick here. Can anyone tell how sick I am watching Corey do this fucking hideous display?
Shouldn't have let it go. You should have held on. Stop.
What the hell is this? Right in the middle of this edit, this woman is tied down to a pool table. What the freaking hell is this? What the hell is this? Look, did you see that? What the hell?
Me, together is what we should be. Underneath that sky.
I haven't even heard a single lyric because I'm so overwhelmed by the cheese, okay? The aroma of cheese. Corey, on top of my orange peel makes me sick. It's not even like a lady of the night. It's a fucking dead corpse of a lady of the night and her nether regions. This is horrible. And so is what I just said. You made me say that. You take responsibility for what I said because you created this fucking hideous, nefarious, disgusting, unholy display. Jeez Louise! Now I know you make a change. Okay. Oh, okay. Wait, it's starting over. No, stop! Enough of that. Holy cow, that was hard on me. Zoom that out, close that out, and you all, I want to express my apologies for literally making you sit through that. I hope somehow I made it worthwhile, the ridicule, that it was somehow funny to you. Oh my gosh, Corey Feldman. Man, you are a bundle of laughs, sir. And I wish actually you could get your career back on track, but it's always been like B movies for the last 25, 30 years since after the 80s were over and you went into your decline. I won't be getting an invite to the Feld Mansion for my cold fucking words. But Corey, come on, dude. Your brother is a vampire. Moving on. The paradox is I actually enjoyed making fun of that, so you can't really dump on me. Okay. Oh, this is funny. This is short, and it amused me. I will take you over to it now. Whoa, ho, ho. And this is just very funny. These two guys arm wrestling, and it's so awkward, and I will make commentary on it as we go.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, man.
Good luck.
If Christian beats me at arm wrestling, I'll buy him anything in the store. Any one item. You ready?
That's a good deal.
Okay.
Let go.
Yeah,
Ready,
you
go.
just call it ready, go.
Ready? Go.
Good. Backwards. Pull backwards. That's too much rotating. Good.
Okay, this makes me laugh.
To your face.
It makes me laugh because of the way this guy's a Marine and he's incredibly tough looking. I'm sure I couldn't beat either one of these guys. I don't know if this is real or they're putting me on, but I'm very amused by the guy on the right. He's just got that commentary like this. It's not like he's struggling at all. So if this is real, if they're having a real competition here, arm wrestling competition, then they're amusing the shit out of me with the music in the back. I thought I'd show you guys this.
Good. Careful now. You're in a dangerous position right there. Yeah, bring that left shoulder forward.
Good.
Good.
Good, yeah.
Make sure you're breathing. Good. Sink your body.
It's so weird. Like, is this real?
Fuck, you're really strong, man.
Sounds perverse.
Okay. Follow it with your body.
I mean, like, if you were just hearing the audio to this and not explaining what the hell is going on, you could think there's something homoerotic about this for sure. And I'm just saying, I'm just calling it out. I'm not criticizing it. I'm just saying it's humorous, it's homoerotic, and it amused me enough to actually honor it with the presence of playing it on here for my glorious commentary.
No, you're very strong, man.
Yeah, it's true. You're very strong.
I'm losing it.
You're super strong, man. Ooh. Christian, that was fucking good, man.
You're super strong, man. What was the deal with that, man? It amused the crap out of me. So, ASMR has really upped its game for the male demographic. What does that mean? ASMR? I wondered if that had something to do with being a Marine or something. I don't know. Moving on, everybody. Appreciate the amusement there, the natural amusement of that little portion of entertainment. Oh, so here's a little something. The other day, I don't have a clip of this. There are little clips of this. Some girl who was on whatever was complaining about this guy who was on whatever with her. This was the girl who was talking about, she was doing shtick about dumping on fat people or like not being with fat bitches or something having to do with fat people. And then so now she's complaining about this dude This was also posted by Ryan from Ryan Stone, and he posted this clip. So this is the chick that was on whatever. And she's cute, but she's definitely annoying and very immature acting. But she had a problem with Mr. What's his name getting handsy. We'll see what they say here. So you listen here. Listen.
End up like MLD, just fucking drunk.
MLD is the guy who had his hand on her.
Chair, fucking spouting random ass
Fucking-
shit. Like I don't want to
fucking-
end up like that.
Like,
You were
oh my
saying
God,
that
fucking.
MLD like kept putting his arm around.
It's so funny how you can tell. It says more about the way of about me being insecure or irritated. The way I start picking on people, they rub on me wrong, and I start picking on her. And I don't know who this guy is. He's like, okay, my shtick is gonna be like, oh, you were on whatever. Well, I'm gonna go around and see if I can contact people who were on whatever and interview them on my own show. And then like those people will be like, I want you to see me. I did more work. And you have a good conversation with them, and maybe they'll go out and share with their networks. And maybe that's a way to build a following or something. Maybe I should interview her and see what her deal is, but I've already been too mean. I've already burned the bridge, you see. She won't come on here. You little girl. Little girl. Are you offended that I call you a little girl? Little girl? Continue.
And that was making you feel uncomfortable.
I don't really want to get too into it. I don't want to cause any drama, but yeah, that sort of made me uncomfortable. Like,
yeah, but okay, so he put his arm around her. She said he stunk. She said he was drunk. She goes on to say that. And, okay, keep going.
it's kind of weird, kind of icky, kind of stank. You know, I mean, if he's gonna go on a podcast and start saying shit about how he had to deal with my autism, I might as well, like, kind of.
Oh. I see. You're autistic. You know what? I think there are genuine autistic people out there, and I would not make fun of them. But I really do feel like autism is one of those things that insecure people glob onto so that they can have the victimhood currency. Like, I am a victim, therefore I am. And I won't take credit for that statement. I heard him say that. I am a victim, therefore I am. So she's saying she's autistic now. And she's a victim. So, like, you already get the red flag sense of her mentality where she's saying, like, I'm autistic. You're autistic, so therefore you're a victim. But you could have called him out on there. If you'd said, hey, buddy, don't put your arm around me, I guarantee you that would have been a viral video. And I want to say that to girls that go on whatever, you know. If someone, like, if sit next to one of those guys and if they put their arm around you, if they touch you, make it a point to be like, hey, don't touch me. And it'll go viral. I guarantee you, Ryan will cut that clip and it'll go viral and people will be like, oh my God, another fake controversy. We're also entertained by nonsense while the world burns over superficial and, you know, the world is burning, but we're fucking distracted by superficial shit. Keep going, babe.
But anyways, yeah. He was just sitting next to me. He reeked. He really smelled like.
Now that I would like to just smell it. When you mention it, I'm like curious. How did he really, or is that just some kind of weird cut down? And I can't, you know, people can't go after you because you're autistic. Yeah, maybe you are autistic. I don't know. If you are, then I am sympathetic. But I just have this feeling that you're using it to play the victim card, and that does a disservice to people who are really on the spectrum and who really have a genuine problem. I'm not believing the story of you being artistic. Or, excuse me. Autistic. I'm not believing you're autistic. You might very well be artistic. But if this is your art, it sucks because you're just hot and the shelf life is limited. There's an expiration date on this. And judging from your age, it's about 10 to 15 years from now when you reach the end of the party phase and you're like, it's all over, man.
Like, if you were to go into a 13-year-old locker room with a bunch of 13-year-old boys, and you smell immediately the scent of Axe body spray just permeates your nose. It burns your fucking nostrils. That is what I had to endure for 4 or 5 hours straight. Just that.
Oh, that's such an exaggeration. Are you so sorry you had to smell him? I don't like to smell. You could have left the whole time, but you're a victim. You went on whatever, and you're a victim now. Yes. Yes, we should all just tell you, it's okay. It's okay, darling. You don't have to worry. I take care of you. I don't wear that shit. I don't wear any fucking smell. It's my natural smell. I put on deodorant. I clean out my ears. I wash between my butt cheeks and I smell really good for you. And I come on with clean clothes. I want to smell you. I do. I want to smell you.
It was just terrible. Like, it's like he went into a little boy's locker room and fucking rolled around in their sweat and in their
fucking just fucking this and fucking that.
Fucking odor.
Oh, fucking odor.
Walked in on set like, yeah, that's good. That's what it felt like. It was just like, but you know, anyway,
your parents must be so proud of you.
I was gonna sit next to Mary, not Chase, sorry. Brian sat me and Mary together, and then MLD came in kind of late, and then he kind of sat between us, like situated himself. And I'm like,
good move.
Okay. Like, I don't really mind that. I don't really mind.
I would rather be with the blonde chick. I would rather have, like, because she speaks in a based way, and she wouldn't annoy me. And I realize my demeanor on here doesn't make it seem like I would be some kind of guy any of them want to hang out with. But I am the shy guy in real life. Believe it or not, I'm an introvert. You wouldn't know it by seeing me on here. There's no one in this room with me. So I feel very comfortable being myself. You know what I mean? I'm not embarrassed because someone's sitting in front of me judging me. I just do whatever the fuck I want. Here, record this, put it out. And so that is Mary over there. I do happen to like her. She's smart. But this other girl is just immature. And she's autistic. So I might be very bad for criticizing her. And once again, I'm not making fun of autistic people. I'm making fun of people who I suspect masquerade as having autism to garner victim currency. Bugs me, sweetheart.
I never really feel uncomfortable around men.
Hashtag me too.
He was a bit different.
Oh, you just said you never really feel uncomfortable around men, but then you say, but he was a little different. Sure. Whatever, man. This one is ripe with red flags. I can honestly tell you. Let's see, how many more times will she say fucking during this?
Like, he kept on getting up, going to the bathroom, taking shots. Like, there was like a whole entire 12-pack of White Claws. And like, he kept on like putting his arm around my chair and like, just like fucking, I think he might have touched Mary. I don't know. Like, and he did say during the podcast, you know.
Should have called him out. That's what you do. You say, hey, MLT, is that his name? Hey, bro, don't touch me. Get your hands off me. Brian, kick this guy out of here. He's putting his hands on me, and I don't want his hands on me. You know? That's how you could have gone viral. If you had taken this attitude on there, you'd be viral for that, and you might be somewhat respected. A young, strong woman who's like, "Hey, I didn't give you permission to touch me," and I want to actually see here. I just want to come back to, because there's this here. I'm wanting to see if I don't see that you're happy here, so I concede. Let me go back to the screen over here. I concede that you don't look happy with his hand around you, and that's on him, because I've never like been all touchy with women. If I suspect they're not into me, there's no way I'd be touching them. The only way I'd be touching them is if I got indicators of interest, like if they were initiating touching me, and if they were smiling, and if, you know, it's the way they their mannerisms key you into whether they're into what you're doing with them or not. And I definitely have to say, she could have and should have called him out here. That would have been cool. It would have dressed him down, and then that would have been out there forever. Because, like, yeah, I wouldn't know her if I were sitting next to her. It's unlikely I'd be putting my arm around her. In fact, I can say, like, I just wouldn't be putting my arm around a girl I don't have a rapport with, a good friend on some level, you know. It does creep me out a little bit. I agree with her there that he shouldn't be touching her at all. Like, he's not reading the room on that one. His game must be off or something.
Entire 12-pack of White Claws, and like, he kept on like putting his arm around my chair.
Almost
and, like,
done with
just,
this
like,
one.
I think he might have touched Mary. I don't know. Like, and he did say during the podcast, you know, like, it wasn't until I was 35 until I learned boundaries. I'm like, whoa.
It's a little ironic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I felt uncomfortable the entire time, and like I was just sitting there, like kind of like leaning forward. I don't know if anyone noticed, but I was leaning forward.
We pointed it
Yeah.
out.
It does look awkward there. The moment I see him touching you, and so this is amusing to me. Ryan's comment on this video was "Me Too, Electric Boogaloo." I like that, Ryan. Clever, sir. You, sir, are special. All right, moving on. I'm about 45 minutes in. That's 3/4 of the show have transpired. And I want to go to this next, specifically what I was doing on the last show. Rollo and Sartain, the TRT brothers, the testosterone replacement therapy brothers, are discussing. Whoops, that's not what I want. Are discussing with Jedediah, and I learned that I was spelling her name wrong for a while. It's Jede, not Jedi. I thought it was Jedi, and then I realized, I'm like, dude, Jedi? Huh, that's cool. Yeah, may the force be with you, Jedediah. Oh, man, I'm sorry. Here we go. Bringing you back over to this. What's the timeline on here? I want to go to 1.5 minutes. That's where I stopped last time, and we'll just go from there and hear what everybody's saying, shall we?
Calf, and they have a big party for them, and the guy who went out there and said no, I'll eat with the trough with the pigs, whatever, like, it's okay, but no, the father creates this big grand feast for him because now his son that was lost
he's continuing to talk about the prodigal son story from the Bible.
And that narrative plays very, very well in the social media age right now because it's not about the prodigal son. It's about the people who are believers in the first place. So when that guy comes back to the fold, everybody gets a reaffirmation of we believe the right thing. Because here's a guy who went out there, lived a life of promiscuity and all this quote unquote red pill manosphere stuff, whatever, however you want to mischaracterize it.
And then
they went out there.
You have your coming to Christ moment. Like, I think I understand what he's saying here, and I think that's actually very insightful and interesting, the way he's extrapolating meaning from that story in a contemporary context. And I find it, what was I going to say about that? I had something interesting of my own to add to that it's almost like when we're in our 20s, our young lives, the culture we live in encourages people just to go out and be super sinful and live on the edge and fuck a lot of people, do drugs, live recklessly, live like one of my friends once said, with reckless abandon. And so then you come back, and then you reach a point, you're over the party phase, and Rollo uses this term in his book to describe women who have their come to Jesus moment after the party phase is over, and somewhere in their young 30s, I think it is. And then they find Jesus. And I think that's kind of how he's using this metaphor, that the prodigal son is someone who comes back and starts to lead a righteous life again after going and doing everything wrong. And it just made me think about what I just said, that we have all this carte blanche in our culture when we're young to be fucked up and screw up and toss reason to the wind, forget about wisdom, and live like jackasses. And then you can always like come back. That's the reconciliatory power of Christianity and of God. Like, forgive me, Lord, I've been a sinner. Forgive me. I come back and I get back into your good graces. So how long do we have to live these lives of sin? That's just what it's making me think about, this discussion they're having here. That I actually do appreciate the topic.
Fun and with hookers and blow, and came back, and now they want to be Muslim, they want to be Christian, they want to be, I think the only thing that's left for me is to become a Jew or something. Maybe I'll be a Sikh.
Are you religious, by the way?
I am religious. I've written a whole book on religion. I have a fourth book. I spent 3
Good luck becoming Jewish. That is like it's not easy to convert to Judaism. That's why there are only like 14 million Jews in the world. They do not seek out converts. They do not go out and proselytize. That's what's unique about two giant religions like Christianity and Islam. They go out and make converts of people, and they make it easy to become part of their religion. And so it's funny he brings up becoming a Jew, because I was just reading about how it would be a years on end onerous pursuit to become a Jewish person, between studying, and you can't have ulterior motives becoming part of the Jewish religion. You can't do it if, like, your wife is Jewish. You can't just say, hey, I want to become Jewish because my wife is Jewish. You really have to demonstrate the will to want to do it. And this is not even what they're talking about, but I found it interesting because he brought it up. He's going to become a Sikh too. Okay. Well, so just actually continue making your point, because I'm diverging off of here and talking about other shit.
What is the religion you identify?
I'm a Christ follower. Okay.
Okay. So
I have a faith.
As somebody who follows Christ, though, we can acknowledge that it is possible that for me, like, and I can't determine whether Sneeko has found this authentically.
Sure.
I mean, I'm not living inside his body and inside his mind and whatnot, or Tate, or whatever is going on. But it is possible that they went down that path and saw a darkness in there. And when you find religion, part of that is an awakening, right?
Yes.
You get awakened to a better way. So it is possible to me that, I
think the whole topic they're talking about applies to me based upon, and it is, I would be upset if someone was questioning the sincerity of my faith, because I've gone on a long journey throughout my whole life. When I was loving Christ at 12, and then I became an atheist at like 17, all the way up through almost 30, when then I became more agnostic, and then I got closer and closer, and then I feel like I'm a Christian again. And it hasn't been because it's just convenient for me to do that at the end of a grift. It's just the growth process and the journey I've been on through life. And I feel actually bad about going away. I feel sorry about going away from it, and being really, as far as faith in God and stuff are concerned, not a good person in my view. So, but I'm also, I'm always overthinking everything. And earlier today, I was driving back from the grocery store, and I was like, about faith, I was like, am I actually happier now, or am I more freaked out and miserable than ever? Shit. Or it's not God's fault, though. It's the circumstances of life, and really I blame the wickedness of the world that I'm trying to separate myself from. But then I'm here I am indulging in it, diving in it, with doing shit like this. I'm not a good person here, okay? Oh, shit. The reason that's funny is because I'm serious. I'm not sitting here being like, I am so great. I don't feel good about not being a good person, but I'm trying to be a good person. I always am. But if I try to get on my high horse, I'm not going to be like a flagellating lying ass pastor who's like, I'm a sinner, and yet, I'm a rock star. I'm such a good person. Everybody look at me. I'm such a good person. I'm not up here flagellating. I'm flawed as fuck is all I'm saying. And I'm not making excuses for it. And I'm not saying, but I am good therefore because I do this. I'm flawed as fuck. And I'm demonstrating that to the entire world here, okay? God knows that this is only part of me, what you see. There are good parts of me, bad parts of me. I'm as transparent as fuck to God. And so you guys started it. Now I'm all getting too personal because of you, Jedediah. You brought this up. You put this out. I think you should take responsibility for my sins at this moment. Is that fair? Is that delusional? I think it is. That's the point I'm making. I'm doing satire right now. And on some level, if God has a sense of humor, gee whiz, I really hope he's laughing and not being like, mother effer, you little jerk. I'm going to get you. Forgive me, God. I go too far. I recognize that.
Saying about it being convenient in terms of marketing and whatnot.
You can't question that. Like if I say, is that for real or not? Just me saying, is that for real or is that not? It's not an attack on the person who I'm asking this about. It's an attack on the entire faith. So everybody who aligns with him suddenly comes, a landslide of hate comes at me just for asking that question, because that guy coming back to the fold. I
understand what he's saying. Like, it's just like I've expressed when you start asking people if it's sincere, it feels like it's like, are you saying I'm insincere? Other people might be narcissistically making it about themselves. Like, well, if he's thinking he's insincere, is he going to think that about me too? But I get both sides of this. I can see where some people might perceive one or the other. I find it interesting. No doubt about it. I find it interesting.
Affirmation of what their beliefs were in the first place.
And my perception from sitting with him is that it is authentic.
Yeah.
I think Sneako's gone down a path
that's up to the person, right?
She's come out on the
But
other
you do
side.
see
And
the
I
convenience
happen
in
to
it.
agree personally with, now I've always agreed on this stuff. We had our first conversation about, I've always been anti-promiscuity on both sides. I've been like, this is a dark hole. So for me, seeing them come to this awareness, I'm like, great, this is good for guys to hear that you did it and it didn't serve you. And now you're coming out and saying a really powerful message to them. So for me, it's a great thing. Whether or not I could speak to, the authenticity inside their hearts, I can. But it is possible to me that somebody could be, because I never call myself red pill, because I honestly have had a really hard time understanding.
Red pill adjacent.
Like, what does that even mean? Everybody has a different view.
Everybody's always got some fucking way they manipulate language to make sense in some way. These two TRT bros, that's what's on my mind. Red pill adjacent, what the red pill means. And I've heard Ryan Stone and Rollo be very insistent about what they say the definition of red pill is. And I've spoken extensively about how I think it's a broader fucking objective perception of things going on. Straight up Matrix metaphor for everything, where they want to like confine it to the manosphere, dealing specifically with intersexual dynamics between men and women. And so that's a little bit irritating to me when they do that. But so Jedediah's, so I guess maybe I'm not red pill adjacent. I think I would say there's the sense in which I'm broad red pill, to use my own fucking phrase to manipulate the perception of the meaning of what is being discussed here. Broad red pill, broad objective perception of reality red pill, not just confined to manosphere and here. It's only intersexual dynamics between men and women. That's all it is between here. There's nothing more. It doesn't go beyond that. Going beyond that is not good for my brand. And you know what is good for my brand? Is getting testosterone jabbed into my arm. Very manly of me. I didn't have enough testosterone, but now I have all the energy. I'm working out all the time. I have those vibes, that aura of a man who's just like seeping out with fuckability, alpha fuckability. Oh man, I'm going too far. I could totally imagine these guys. The other day it was recommended to me that, give these guys a black eye to get their attention. And I'm like, oh yeah, I think I can do that. But I do respect them in a lot of ways. It's just that I'm also clout chasing. So a boom, and you over there, boom to you too, boom. Wait, boom, boom. Yes, manly, very manly of me. Or is it extremely insecure acting? It could be construed as both. We might still want to continue with this. We're at 4:19. I'm going to close out of this because I've gone the hour, ladies and gentlemen. Where are we exactly, precisely timing here wise right now? 58 minutes. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. I'm pleased with how this went today. I'm not pleased with my look. I want to have more dazzling looks when I come on here, because why not? I have the resources to do so. I have the good looks. I must accentuate them as much as I can. Maximize alpha! Lord forgive me for how crazy I was today. The whole thing with the resurrection of the TV and all that. Not feeling good about myself. If you like what you hear here, I encourage you to like the video, share the video, tell your friends about it, listen to it in the background. You don't always have to see the visual. But I'm so grateful you're here anyway. If you're enjoying what I'm doing, thank you. Thank you very much, and peace be with you all. Rise from the dead. Rise from the dead. Hallelujah, rise.